Hello everyone, and welcome to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy I, the first Final Fantasy ever made. Now, for those of you wondering why there's so much color, this is because I'm going to be playing the Dawn of Souls edition, the version that came out on the Game Boy Advance. It's very similar to Final Fantasy Origins, the version that came out on the PlayStation 1. So if you have that version, it's pretty much the same. There are a few differences, but nothing really too major. To start off with, I'm going to be picking my classes. You have 6 different classes you can choose from: Warrior, Thief, White Mage, Black Mage, Red Mage, and Monk. A Warrior is a pretty good all-around physical fighter. He has decent weapons and decent armor. Monk is an excellent physical fighter, but he doesn't have very good armor or very many weapons. And I'm a person who likes to have a whole lot of different weapons to choose from and not just base physical power, so I'm going to be going with the Warrior. I'm also going to be having a Red Mage as my mediation class, seeing as he can use both weapons and magic of black and white. However, he's not as powerful as he was in the Nintendo Entertainment version of the game, so I'm only going to be having one of him. A Black Mage for dealing damaging magic attacks that can exploit enemy weaknesses, and a White Mage for healing and some damage against undead enemies. I don't really bother with the Thief in this game either, because even though his physical attack stat was raised, I believe, he's still not very powerful. The world lies shrouded in darkness. The winds die. The seas rage. The earth decays. But the people believe in a prophecy, patiently awaiting its fulfillment. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. After a long journey, 4 young travelers did at last appear, and in the hand of each was clutched a crystal. And that's about as much in terms of cutscenes as we're going to get for this game. Now, before I really get into playing, I should probably note that I'm most familiar with the Nintendo Entertainment version of the game. And to put it bluntly, a lot of stuff has been changed. I have beaten this version of the game, but I am still more comfortable with the original version, so some of the strategies I have may not carry over as well into this version. I'll try and make do, though. And I just wanted to change my window color because that blue makes it a little hard to see the text. In order to get most of the story around here, you're going to have to talk to NPCs as well, and I want Dash off because I'm controlling this with a Gamecube controller, and using a joystick to control a 2D character can sometimes be a little difficult. Normally I walk around in dash mode all the time, but for now I think I'll leave it normally. Turned into a pirate's den, huh? Remember that for later. Now, if you want to progress, you need to talk to one of the guards situated around the village, or you could have gone straight to the castle. Both work. Yes, we each carry a crystal. Lucan? Who's Lucan? But we have the crystals. See, the king has the right idea. Well, at least we're getting the rescue the princess cliché out at the very beginning. Might as well get it over and done with instead of dragging it out for the entire game, unlike others in the series. Yeah, use the dancing girl in the middle of town as kind of like a guidepost. Whenever you're stuck in the game, you can always come back and talk to her, and she'll give you hints as to where to go next. Before that, I want to talk to people around the castle. This is how you're going to get most of the information in the game, just by talking to NPCs. The game isn't going to have cutscenes or long dialogue chats like in other Final Fantasies. So basically, if you wanted to, you could go through the entire game and not really know the story. You could know the bare bones of it. But I actually want to talk to people to show off more about the game. I think it makes it a bit more fun, too. Oh, and you can choose to run around as a character other than the warrior. I'm just choosing to run around as him for a specific reason, and I'll get to that as soon as battles appear. Should be a few more people in the back. I have to go around this way. Oh, and I should probably clarify this now. This is going to be more of a playthrough than a walkthrough. Mainly because I don't necessarily know the location of every single treasure chest in the game. And even if I did, some are just too tedious to get with too little of a reward. And I guess even though I'd like to be a completionist in some things, I don't really see the purpose in obtaining every single treasure chest if it's just going to obtain something generic like a potion or a phoenix down or something like that. If it's something I can live without, I'm not going to risk my neck trying to get it. No thank you, I just want to show the inn off a bit. Now these guys, if you're brand new to any sort of Final Fantasies, you're probably going to want to talk to these guys. They will give you the basic tutorials for the game. Heck, even if you're familiar with Final Fantasies but haven't played any of the old sprite-based Final Fantasies, I recommend talking to these guys. And as a side note, while these guys are talking, you can name your characters anything you want, but it's not really going to make a difference. I just went with generic names. A lot of people like to name these characters after later Final Fantasy characters, like Tifa or Yuna, names like that. I didn't really want to do that, I just went with generic names. A lot of the pre-made names that they give you are actually references to other Final Fantasy characters, but I guess you take what you can get. You can name them anything you want, but I figured generic was best. Yes, your bestiary is your friend. Check it often. Also, you can have more than one character of the same class in your party. For example, if you wanted a party made of entirely white mages, you could do so. You wouldn't get very far in the game, probably, unless you really put a lot of time into level grinding. But it's still nice that you have the option to do so. And I already talked to you, you just say the same thing. Sometimes after you accomplish various tasks, people will tell you different stuff, but I guess I'm not going to right now. This is an item shop where you can buy potions, antidotes, and the like. I'm not going to buy anything just yet because I don't really feel like I need it. I'm working on it. This is a church. If you have any characters that died in battle, well, not really died, but got KO'd, if their HP reached 0, you need to come and talk to this guy in order to have them revived. Going to an inn will not revive characters that were knocked out in battle. So after you visit a place, always visit the church first if you have characters that are knocked out, and then visit the inn. Because characters will only be revived with either 1 HP or a portion of their HP, I don't entirely remember. Now for some better equipment. I definitely recommend getting better equipment right now. It's super cheap, and it's going to help you for quite some time. This game can be very brutal in its later stages. Once you reach level 20, this game can be very brutal, so I recommend always trying to have the best equipment that you can. I want chainmail for the warrior and the red mage, and the other 2 mages don't really have any upgrades right now. Now for some weapons. The best weapon for warrior and red mage are rapiers, and I also want a hammer for the white mage. Nothing for you, black mage. Now, I could equip the black mage with the staff and have slightly better attack, but his accuracy goes down so much that I don't feel it's worth it. Oddly enough, it is worth it in the NES version, but not in the Game Boy Advance version. Now for some magic. I want a cure spell for the white mage, that's its primary role anyway, as well as a Dia spell, which casts damage to undead enemies. Also, I want a cure spell for the red mage, and I will get more spells later, but I have limited money at the moment, so I'm only going to buy the essentials. Get a fire magic for the black mage, as well as a thunder magic, and also a fire magic for the red mage. Now there are 2 other black magic spells, Sleep and Focus, but I never use them throughout the entirety of the game.